Hey y'all. As y'all jumping in here, just say hello. Let me know your name, where you're tuning in from. Let me know your name, where you're tuning in from. As y'all jumping in here, just say hello. Let me know your name, where you're tuning in from. So glad to have y'all in the house today on our Tuesday night happy hour. Y'all know how we roll. As y'all jumping in here, just say hello. Let me know your name, where you're tuning in from. We are live on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram. So glad to have y'all in the house today. As y'all jumping in here, just say hello. Let me know your name, where you're tuning in from. If you can hear and see everything okay, just drop a 1 in the chat for me. If you can hear and see everything okay, drop a 1 in the chat for me, please. Hey, Dwayne. Hey, JR. So glad to have y'all in the house today. As y'all are jumping in here, just say hello. Let me know your name, where you're tuning in from. Crystal from Los Angeles. Hey, girl, hey. I've got San Diego in the house, Texas in the house. Someone says they can't hear me. Can you guys hear me? I think you guys can hear me. I got a 1 in the chat. I got Milwaukee in the house. Hey, y'all, got Chicago in the house, my hometown. Love y'all so much. All right, we are live. We're good. Everyone can see and hear everything okay. I'm glad to be here. So this is our Tuesday night happy hour that we do every single Tuesday night at 5 p.m. Pacific, 7 p.m. Central, 8 p.m. Eastern. We do this every single Tuesday night where I come on here and I share and impart some wisdom on you to help people get you the credit that you deserve. So if this is the first time here to one of our happy hours, just throw a 1 in the chat for me. If this is the first time here to one of our happy hours, just drop a 1 in the chat for me. If you've been here 2 times or more, you know how you roll. Drop a 2, 3, 4, 5 in the chat for me. If y'all have this your first time here, just drop a 1 in the chat. If you've been here 2, 3, 4, 5 times or more, I need y'all to put a 2, 3, 4, 5 in the chat. More ones in the chats, a lot more ones in the chats. I do have a lot of ones in the chats. Okay, y'all. So because I do have some newcomers in the house, I first want to say welcome. I'm so glad to have you here. My name is Jerry Tolliver. I am the CEO of Fly Credit and the creator of the Fly Credit University, where we help you get the credit that you deserve. So all the personal credit and business credit tips, information, and resources that you could ever need to get your hands on to take it to the next level, I can provide that for you. I've been in the credit industry for a little over 8 years now, and I've helped thousands of people with purchasing homes, buying cars, lowering their rates, negotiating away fees, and that they deserve to take it to the next level in their life and in their business. So I'm really excited to be here because today I'm going to give y'all some 5 tips to save your credit from credit disaster. Now, we are in a very interesting time right now. Have y'all noticed the economy is going crazy right now? And one thing that has been very obvious is that a lot more people are using their credit in order to get things done, in order to take care of some of like just regular things, groceries, gas. And sometimes it's really to a point now where a lot of people's income is really stretched, really thin, and they're using their credit to, substitute and fill in the gaps, if you will. And so because of that, a lot of people are carrying a lot of credit card debt. Some people are missing payments on their credit. Some people are even on the brink of bankruptcy right now. But no worries. I want you to know that there is a way for you to reverse all of this and get yourself back into excellent credit state, 700, 800 above, and live a life of total freedom with your credit and have a good level of confidence about what your next best steps are going to be with your credit and your finances. So today I'm going to give y'all 5 tips today that I think will be very helpful for you, especially if you're kind of in a rut with your credit and you want some good steps that you need to take the next best steps for today. So if y'all ready to get that started, I need to see some money bags in the chat, because y'all know how we roll in here. If y'all really want to learn how to improve your personal credit, if you want to learn the next best steps to know what you need to do to get it done, if you want to get off the fence and into action, let's talk about that today. So put some money bags in the chat, and I'm going to share my 5 tips with you today to help you with getting started. Now, the reason why I think it's important to really talk about your personal credit, especially for a lot of my people here that are small business owners, is that having good personal credit is going to open up a lot of doors and opportunities for you. I mean, honestly, more than 82% of businesses fail in the first 5 years because they have poor cash flow management and they don't have enough money to get the resources that they need to actually grow their business. So most of the time they're stuck in invoice to invoice cycle, right? Where they're trying to make money in order to survive and grow a business. But unfortunately, it's really hard to do that when you're bootstrapping everything. And so one thing that I help you with discovering is how you can escape that invoice to invoice cycle, how you can get away from working in your business and start working on your business and upgrade yourself from self-employed to full-blown CEO, where you have a business that's making money systematically in your sleep and you'll feel confident about the direction that you're going in your life. And I know that having good personal credit is going to help propel that to the next level. Now, I understand that a lot of y'all see the videos and trainings and stuff about getting business credit without using your personal credit. And you can do that. You can definitely do this whole process of building business credit from scratch. That's totally just in your business name. That's strictly in your business name. That's completely separate from your personal credit. However, it is a process, and it's not a process that just happens overnight. And so what you still want to do is have good personal credit that you can lean on to help yourself speed up the process of building your business and also getting your hands on higher lines of credit so that you can give yourself the opportunity to pay yourself a salary, get supplies that you need to grow your business, get the inventory that you need, buy the truck that you need, whatever you need for your business. You can leverage your personal credit to accelerate that process. But even if you have bad personal credit right now, you can still build business credit without using your personal credit. Now, for all my people in the house that, kind of struggle with your personal credit, you're not really sure what to do, the first thing you need to do to save your credit from credit disaster and recover it in the event that you've already kind of messed it up is that the number one thing you got to do is you need to assess the damage, because the reality of it is this, right? You have to know what's going on in order to fix it. And so you don't fix a leaky pipe the same way that you would if you have a hole in the wall. You fix them differently because they're two very different problems. So you have to assess the damage that you have on your credit, and you want to categorize the damage in different categories. So the number one category that you want to look at to see is how's your payment history on your accounts on your credit reports. Now, if you have, some poor payment history in your credit where you're paying things late consistently every month and you're allowing things to go 30, 60, 90 days or beyond in late payments on your credit, it's going to be really hard to grow your personal credit scores. But if you get your payments back on track, that's going to help you with growing your personal credit faster than you can ever imagine, because your payment history counts as the highest percentage for your credit scores. So make sure that you pay everything on time if you can, even if it's just the minimum payment on your credit cards. Just pay that if you can, because that's going to keep your credit in good. It's going to keep your credit on time, your payments on time, and it's going to keep your credit history healthy so that you can grow your credit scores. Next, y'all want to make sure that you don't max out your credit cards. Now, excuse me. I've actually been talking to a lot of people recently that over the years have accumulated a lot of personal credit card debt from building their business. And I know that struggle because I did it the first few years of my business too, because I didn't know anything about business credit. So I did take the route of racking up almost $32,000 of personal credit card debt just trying to build my business, because I was using my personal credit to do it while I was trying to survive and take care of my 2 kids and pay bills. And for all my people that's doing that right now, you understand the struggle, and I want to help you overcome and, get out of that cycle, that hamster wheel that you may find yourself in. But the only way that you're going to be able to do that is to start building business credit. Now, there's 2 ways you can go about this, okay? You can build business credit from scratch without using your personal credit, but it is going to take you about 6 months to do, about 6 to 12 months to really get some good momentum going, build out a solid file, have some high business credit scores. And that's going to also give you some time to maybe even improve your personal credit. So take a look at all of that so that you'll know what your next best step is going to be. But I'm going to tell you this. If you have maxed out personal credit cards, it is going to be really hard to get approved for more lines of credit for your business. So you can do it both ways. You can do it by just building your business credit from scratch, which is going to take you 6 to 12 months. Or you can build your business by leveraging your personal credit, which you can start getting approved for business credit cards and lines of credit and loans for your business almost immediately. So there are a lot of things to consider when you're talking about business credit, honestly, or personal credit. But when you're talking about, getting those higher lines of credit, rescuing your credit from total disaster, then you're going to have to, 1, pay every single thing on time, and 2, start getting your credit card balances down if you are currently carrying them from getting, you're trying to grow your business using your personal credit. Now, a good tip that I would give most people that if you're carrying personal credit card debt is that if you can qualify for business credit cards that don't use your personal credit, then you can transfer those balances to your business credit and ultimately wipe out your personal credit debt, and so that you can carry it on your business side. Now, there are a lot of things to consider before you do something like this, but I do think that it's a good idea for people that did use their personal credit to finance their business once they got themselves started. But transferring debt from one side to another, like I said, it can be a little complicated sometimes depending on which bank or institution you're dealing with, but it is a good option if you do have that available. So make sure that you don't max out your personal credit cards, but if you do, start working on a plan to pay those credit cards down as soon as possible so that you can start raising your credit scores even higher. Next, y'all, you should know that if you're closing out your accounts, it's going to drop your personal credit score. So if you're closing, credit card accounts, or if you're closing accounts that you've had open for a while, then it is going to drop your personal credit scores. So what you want to do is start opening up new accounts in your credit, in your name, using your personal credit so that you can start establishing stronger personal credit scores, because the more accounts that you have reporting on your personal credit, the stronger your credit history is going to get. Now, there are a lot of great ways to do this, right? So like, for instance, usually if you're like shopping online, you have options like, what is it called? Like Affirm, and some of those options where you can pay over time. Well, the good news is some of those options actually report to your personal credit reports. And so you can use these options to pay for something that you were already going to pay for anyway, to get the credit history associated with that account. And as long as you pay it on time, then you'll be good. So if you pay it, in the next 2 to 3 months, then you're going to build you some credit history off of something that you were already paying for anyway. You've got Fingerhut accounts. You've got so many different ways. There's so many different ways to build credit now. It's ridiculous. And so take into consideration all the ways that you can build your credit, and you can do it fast. Experian has a service called Experian Boost. Anybody using it right now? Experian Boost will give you the opportunity to add like telecom accounts, your Netflix subscriptions, utilities to your personal credit reports, which is great because for the most part, you don't get credit for those accounts, right? The only time you get credit for it is when you pay it late. And by that time, it's like kind of useless. But if you want credit for it now, you can get something like Experian Boost in order to do that. And so you've got to assess the damage to see where are you right now. Do you have maxed out credit cards? Do you have closed out accounts that are negative status? Do you have collection accounts? Do you have late payments on your credit accounts right now? And if so, these are the things that you're going to have to start repairing, because that's the only way to improve your credit scores, is to get negative accounts deleted from your credit reports, because it's hard to have good credit when you have just negative accounts just there sitting on your credit, just ruining your scores. And so determine like what's really going on with my credit so that you can determine how to fix it. So how you fix a late payment problem is different than fixing a utilization problem. So if you've got one problem or both problems, then the next thing is to determine what your plan is going to be in order to rectify the situation. So setting some goals for yourself is the number one thing that I will always tell people to do. Is because if you don't have any goals set for yourself, you're not really working towards anything in particular, right? So setting some goals for yourself is going to be the number one thing that you need to do in order to reach them. So what I want y'all to do is I want y'all to put down some of the goals that you have for yourself with your credit in the chat for me. So in the next 1 to 2 years, what would you like to experience for yourself or for your business just by having good credit? So what would good credit do for you? What would it do for your business? What would it do for your life? I want y'all to pop that in the chat for me, because you've got to have some goals if you want to reach them, right? You've got to be very specific about what you want to do, where you want to go, and how you want to get there in order to transform your future. So take a look at your financial goals to see, well, how can I go from my credit is suffering to determining what my next step is going to be to buy the house or get the car or start the business or get the business loan or get the business credit card? What is it going to take to get there? Because if all you needed to do was just clean up your late payments, then great, just do that. Or if you got some collection accounts on your credit, work on getting that removed off of your credit so that you can qualify for a better loan or a credit card offer. Or let's say that your utilization is just high. Well, all you got to do is start paying down the utilization so that you can start getting approved for better credit card offers. Remember, number one step, assess the damage so that you can start attacking that problem to ultimately reach your goals. And so if you talk to a lender today that says, hey, Charlize, you can qualify for this house next month if all you did was get this collection account off of your credit reports. Great. That's your goal, to get this collection account off my credit so that I can buy this house. So assessing the damage is going to help you determine what your next best step is, because everybody's credit is different. Nobody has the exact same credit file. The only people that do are the people that have never established credit before. But in my 8 years of being in this industry, I have never, ever, ever seen a credit file that was identical. Never in my years being in this industry, except for the people that have never established credit before and are 100% credit invisible and they don't have any scores. Those are the only people that have identical files. But other than that, nobody's credit situation is the same. So assess the damage first and then create some goals and some milestones for yourself that you want to accomplish. Because if you don't have a goal, y'all, you're shooting for nothing. And if you're shooting for nothing, then what are we aiming? What are we aiming for? What are we accomplishing? And life is about progression. Life is about getting the accomplishments, making yourself proud, showing up for yourself. That is what makes us feel good about ourselves when we living out our purpose. So get your toolkit, right? Get your toolkit and start working on the credit. So what you got to do? What do you got to do to get the late payments off? What do you got to do to get the collection accounts off? What do you got to do to get the bankruptcy off? What do you got to do to raise the credit scores? What do you have to do, and get your tools to do it? Now, one good, really amazing tool to repair your credit is our How to Repair Your Credit course and our Fly Credit University. Now, that course teaches you from A to Z how to repair credit, how to dispute negative accounts. We've got templates in there that you can use to dispute negative accounts. It gives you the blueprint to get it done the right way. And so repairing your credit is a very necessary step if you want to have excellent credit and rescue your credit from wherever it is today. So if you're currently on the brink of bankruptcy, you can possibly get that turned around. If you're struggling with late payments and collections and repos, you can possibly turn that around. You can, in my opinion, honestly, in my 8 years in doing this, all credit is repairable. At some point in time, your credit actually resets. So after about 7 years of having bad credit anyway, it resets. It resets. So the negative accounts that were on your credit drops off eventually anyway. So never get distraught about your credit. Like if you've got some hiccups or if you've made some mistakes, it's all good. It always expires over time, and you'll always have an opportunity to restart, refresh, and do something different and create a better future for your credit. So never get, discouraged about where your credit is. Like if it's low right now or you're feeling like it's never going to raise, nah, don't fall for that. Don't fall for that. That's the devil talking. Don't fall for that. All credit is repairable. All of it. And so it's either going to take you some time or it's going to take you some money to repair it. But either way, those are the two investments that you're going to have to make, is your time or your money. And I do think that credit repair is worth investing into either learning or getting somebody to do it for you, because it speeds up the process of getting approved for what you need, which are the homes, the cars, the business loans, the business lines of credit. And I think that's very important, because resources are important to grow and flourish and progress. And a lot of times when we're not progressing, we feel stuck. And ain't nobody got time for that. So unstuck yourself by making sure that you get your tools out and you get to work so that you can get your credit on the right track and rescue your credit overall. Next, I want you to know that if you really want to have good credit, you are going to have to adopt some good financial habits. Now, I talked about most of these financial habits last week. So if you didn't check out that video, head on over to YouTube, check it out. All my FCU members, is also on the FCU platform as well, where I talked about 7 really good habits to adopt if you really want to have some excellent credit and finances for the long term, right? Now, one of the biggest habits that I will always say to keep or adopt is to check your credit at least once a month at a minimum. At a minimum, I check my credit at least once a month. Because one, you never know what's happening with your credit, and you always want to be in the know. So I always check my credit at least once a month so that I always know what's going on. Another habit that I would say adopting is paying your bills, like your credit card bills, totally in full every single month if you can, just so that you can avoid paying interest payments. And I'm not a big fan of paying interest on what I actually think is imaginary money. So I would definitely say a great habit to have is to pay your credit card bills off in full every single month so that you don't have to pay for interest payments, because interest payments can be quite costly, and ain't nobody got time to be, paying the bank extra money that they don't necessarily have to be paid if you could just pay it off in full anyway. So I would say look into doing that, because if you haven't, that's a good habit to adopt. Another habit is putting everything on auto pay. Now, the worst thing that you can do for your credit is pay things late. And the best thing that you can do to prevent from paying anything late is just to put the bill on auto pay. Now, a lot of companies actually give you a perk, like a discount for putting your bills on auto pay. And the great thing is you could just put it on auto pay on your credit card, pay the credit card off in full every single month. You can get the points or rewards that you get for using your credit card and just pay the credit card off every single month. It's just the same old thing every single month. And so I think it's a good idea to adopt a habit of putting things on auto pay so that you never miss a payment, because missing a payment is detrimental for your credit, especially if you have really good credit. The higher your credit scores are, the worse the effect will be if you start paying things late on your credit. So, adopt those habits, because I do think that those are really good habits to have if you want to grow your credit for the long haul, the long term, and really rescue your scores from the damage that it may have right now. So do that, because developing those habits is going to be good for your credit for sure. And the last, I want you all to know that I think a good thing to remember is this is going to be a journey. It really is. It's not something that happens overnight. I don't care what nobody tells you. If somebody tells you can get your credit, fixed in 12 days, run for the hills. That's a dream that they're selling you. And most dreams don't come true. Most dreams are too good to be true that are being sold. And so what I want you to know is you're going to have to embrace the journey. You're going to have to embrace the fact that this is going to take you some time, and embrace the fact that once you get to the finish line, that you are going to be so happy and proud of yourself when you do, because most people don't have enough endurance to see the journey all the way through. They start and then they stop, and then they start and then they stop, and then they stop again, and then they start, and then they get distracted, and then they start again, and then they stop. And, you look up, months or years later, and you realize you haven't really done anything. You haven't really gotten anything done, because you haven't really embraced the journey. And so I want you to think about it from that perspective. Like, if your credit is in funk right now, if your credit is like really sad and depressed, then it's all good. Just know that there's a remedy for that you can bring your credit back to life, and you can bring your credit scores into recovery mode by doing these 5 things. So number 1, assess the damage. See what's going on so that you can fix the right problem. Is it late payments? Is it that your utilization is bad? Is it because you closed at all your accounts, you don't have any history? Is it because you found bankruptcy? Is it, what is the real problem so that you can assess it properly? Next, you want to get your tools out. You want to fix the problem, y'all. You want to get to work. You want to hammer the nails. You want to put down the glue. You want to fix the problem, plug the holes that you're experiencing so that you can start growing your credit scores, okay? Next, you want to set some goals. If you don't have no goals, you're not going to hit nothing anyway. So write down your goals. Do you want to have 700, 800 credit scores? Do you want to have no debt? Do you want to have higher credit limits? Do you want to get approved for the business loan, the business line of credit? What do you want? What do you really want? Sometimes when I ask people what they want, they have no idea. No idea what they want. How much business credit you want? I don't know. As much as I can get. What kind of score you want? I don't know. As high as I can get. What interest rate you want? I don't know. The lowest I can get. Like, come on, y'all. Let's be specific about where we're going and what we want out of life. What do you really want? Do you want to travel the world? Do you want to spend more time with your family? Do you want to have more freedom? What do you really want? Do you want to have the house of your dreams? What do you want? And what are you willing to do to get it? What are you willing to sacrifice to get it? What steps are you willing to take to get it? Because, talk is cheap. People say what they want to do all the time, but they never show up for it. They never make the investment into it. They just talk about it. So, what is your dream worth to you? What do you really want to do? And what are you willing to do to get it? See, those are the questions you got to ask yourself. Because if you're thinking big enough, there's nothing that can stop you. Nothing that can stop you. All you have to do is get educated, get the steps, get the resources so that you can get it done. And so get your tools out. Get a plan, a game plan going so that you can reach your goals. Next, develop the right habits, because you're not really going to get too far without the right habits. It's like losing weight, right? Like, you can go to the gym all day, every day. But if you eat pizza every day, drink alcohol every day, guess what? You're not going to get too far. Because, yeah, sure, you've adopted the habit of working out, but you haven't adopted the other habits that you're required to adopt in order to have real long-term success, right? So think about that with your credit. Like, yeah, sure, you can grow your scores and get high credit scores, but if you want long-term success, there's some things that you're going to have to do in order to get it and maintain it, get it and keep it. So make sure that you develop the right habits, right? Like, pay everything on time. Put things on auto pay. Check your bank account at least every day. Check your credit at least once a month. Like, developing these habits will get you in the know. Because a lot of the times what happens is we get such in a funk that we just want to ignore it. We just want to put it in a box and pretend that it's not there. We want to pretend that the credit scores aren't low. We want to pretend that our bank accounts aren't negative. We want to pretend instead of just facing it head on and saying, I could do better. My credit scores could be better. My savings my balance could be higher. My investments could be growing. My business could be better. I could be doing better at this. But if you never really assess the problems and you never really assess the habits that you've already developed that's keeping you where you are, then how are you going to grow? Right? So develop the right habits, y'all. Read the books, get the resources, hang around the right people, go to the conferences, shake the hands, kiss the babies, right? Do what you need to do to get it done so that you can have the success. And then lastly, just embrace the journey. Just embrace it. This is going to be a journey. There's going to be steps that you're going to have to take. There are going to be things that you're going to have to do that you've never done before. But just embrace it. Just embrace the lessons that you're going to learn. Embrace the mistakes that you're going to make. Embrace the fact that you're getting better every single day with time. Like the person that I was 8 years ago when I started this business, I'm not the same person I was 8 years ago. Building a business has helped me grow as a person, as a leader. It's helped me grow so much because it calls you to be a better person. It calls you to be a better leader. It calls you to do things that you've never done before. It calls you to take the risks. And so if you want to be a winner, right? If you want to win the game of credit, you want to win the game of business, you want to win the game of money, then you got to do the things that people are already doing that are doing it, right? You got to do the same things. And so those are the 5 things that I want to give to you today for you to really start making the right changes long term for your finances and credit. And if y'all need some help, y'all know I got you. We can help you with taking it to the next level. So if you need some help with your personal credit, if you need some help with your business credit, hit us up, flycredit.com. I'll be more than happy to help you with getting it done. Now, for my people that are on Instagram, you can easily DM me just WIN, and let me know if you need our help. We can help you with repairing your credit. We can help you with rebuilding your scores. We can help you with building business credit from scratch. We can help you with getting funding. We can help you with doing it all. All you got to do is hit us up. All my people on YouTube, just hit us up at flycredit.com. We're more than happy to help you with getting the credit that you deserve. And for my people on Facebook, just hit me in my DM. We always in there messaging everybody so you can get all the help that you need. But again, I'm so glad that y'all joined me today. I'm so happy that you've got some information, and I hope that you take it so that you can take it to the next level with your credit. Again, my name is Jerry Tolliver, CEO of Fly Credit and the creator of the Fly Creativersity, where we help you get the credit that you deserve. I'll see y'all here next Tuesday, same time, same place for our Tuesday night happy hour. I'll see y'all next time. Have a good night, y'all.